it has been a very long, painful period because we, as you know, because of the type of family we are, you can't experience the pain and the trauma and actually now the loss privately. There are always constantly people around and the glare, and sometimes you feel like screaming, can you give us peace? Just to have that moment as a family. But, it's been very, very hard. It's very hard, I think, for anybody to experience to see a loved one, slowly
go through the pain.
Yeah, go through the pain, really, of dying. It has been a long transition, and my dad had honestly the best care.
It's extraordinary that you speak of how almost beautiful this moment was, but you've been on record talking about how difficult the relationship with your dad was at times.
Yes.
Speak to us about the evolution of the relationship with a man who, for many years, was not daddy. He was Nelson Mandela, the global icon.
Sometimes I wish I could be my daddy, and I would come to you and talk about my difficulties, maybe with my marriage, my difficulties with about anything under the sky.
Or take a walk.
Yes, or take a walk, or he would put... My father is awkward with his emotions. People don't understand that because they see him the public persona, but Tata had the public persona and the private persona. He couldn't express his emotions. There were few and far in between moments when you would catch Tata in a good mood and you would ask him about things and he would engage. But when it came closer to the heart, he would, oh God, what am I doing? And shut down, okay? Because he grew up in a society. I had to read a lot to understand my dad. He grew up in a society where you had to be seen but not heard, okay, the African culture, where you learned by emulating the elders before you, where as a man you did not show your emotions.
With the passing of your father, you now have assumed a tremendous responsibility as his eldest child. You're playing the role that your late brother would have played as well. One of the key elements of your father's legacy is love, peace, reconciliation. It now appears it's your responsibility to be the great reconciler of your family, and your family's had some difficulties as well.
I try to be the word of wisdom. I try to bring, even now, everybody together, the grandchildren. It was me who would say, I think we should inform this one. I mean, even with Mandela, who I just took to court now, it was me who said to the doctors, I think we should call Mandela now to come, because I felt it was important for all of us to have closure and be united. Surely they, we'll still have differences in how we see things, but I think there's a better way of how to deal with issues. My dad has always said to us, charity begins at home. Yes.
He will be mourned around the world. What do you think is most important for people to remember when they're watching the laying in state, when they are celebrating his life? What do you think is the most important thing for people to remember?
For me, when I look at my dad and look at his life, is that nothing, if you set your goal that's higher than life goal, all of us, to be a better person, to give back to society. Because I don't think my father fought just for political freedom. My father also fought for spiritual freedom, to free yourself spiritually. He talks about the fact that it takes courage to forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very difficult thing. I don't think it was easy. He woke up one day and say, I forgive those who incarcerated me and everything. But I think he knew that if he didn't forgive, he would be forever in prison himself spiritually. And if you are not free here, you cannot be free definitely here. And so for me, the lesson we can take away from his life is to have the courage to forgive other people. Your own husband, if you are married, your own children, your own neighbors, your own community, people who've done you. Because if we have the courage to forgive as human beings, there would be no wars that we see around us. There would be no crime, there would be no violence, there would be no conflict. Okay? And for me, that's the greatest gift that Tata has given to the world. Because he also says, none of us, when we are born hating another. We are taught to hate. And if you can teach a human being to hate, you can also teach a human being to love, to embrace, to forgive. And for me, that's the greatest lesson.
Makaziwe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.